Yeah, I started this concept for the show that we're having in Santa Fe. I actually planned it for New Orleans, and we usually have our big opening in New Orleans during Jazz Fest. So I had this vision of doing a show called The Art of Play, and this was before COVID and, all the stuff that we've been through. And I decided I wanted to sort of focus in on the wonder of the innocence of childhood and the wonder of childhood, and sort of bring it into the adult realm. I think when we grow up, we learn so many fear-based ideas that we lose our sense of wonder. And, when you boil it all down, I think I heard somewhere once that 97% of all new information is proven to be false. So, what we're learning, and especially the fear-based stuff that's coming into our lives, is really not good for us. And so I sort of wanted to bring this sense of play into the adult world and sort of give people permission to think about that sense of wonder and innocence and imagination especially. I think we have to always, make sure we keep our imaginations intact. And so I wanted to sort of escort that along. But anyway, we had the big shutdown, and I had to sort of regroup and rethink about what I was going to do. For a while, I thought, oh, this isn't going to be appropriate. And then I thought, no, this is probably more appropriate than I possibly could have known. I think it's kind of a prophecy that I thought of the idea way back before this happened, because I think it's something we all need right now. So we ended up we're doing the show here in Santa Fe, new pieces all about play and innocence and imagination. And we did a big installation in the middle of the room, the gallery space. It's a big fort, kind of an interactive fort, very kind of colorful and imaginative, and a place where adults can go in and kind of just lose themselves with what we've done inside of it. So it's going to be sort of an all-immersive environment that will hopefully give people some joy, which is really all I care about doing. Yeah, this is also the first time that we've done a virtual and a real opening. And we kind of did it because of all the social distancing and stuff, which is thankfully easing up now. But I think it's kind of a cool thing. We have a really great videographer that's shooting all the work. The work is so detailed. I don't know if many of you have seen it in person, but it's very, it's all done with thread, and it's very textural, and there's a lot of detail. So I was worried about not being able to capture that on film, but I think we will be able to, especially with the way we've sort of immersed the whole gallery in this concept of play. So, I think it's going to work, and we're going to do the virtual opening on the 26th, the evening of the 26th, and then also a real opening with real people in the gallery. And if it works, I think we'll just do this going forward, because it opens us up to, a much bigger audience, and we can show people what we're doing kind of all over the country. So, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be fun. I came to Santa Fe, I guess about 5 months ago, and I rented a place on Canyon Road for a while, and I've just recently moved into a new studio here, which is beautiful. It's just a big studio room with a bedroom and a kitchen, but I absolutely love it. It's got like 25-foot ceilings and garage doors, and so it's just beautiful, and the light's gorgeous and everything. So, but this body of work is interesting. I had to work in the back of our gallery in this little tiny 10 by 10 studio with no windows. But, I did it. I think once as you all probably know, once you get immersed in your work, you kind of forget about your environment. And so it worked out. It was fine. I don't know yet. I have a year's lease where I am now, and I'm just kind of getting acclimated and deciding whether or not this is where I want to be. It feels like I'm probably going to end up here. I still will be traveling to New Orleans as often as possible, and I still have my house in Michigan. But I really love it here. And yeah, we'll see. I never know. I can't predict 2 weeks ahead of time, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think originally I was thinking about, we thought Jazz Fest would be open, would be happening, and we have such a great crowd of people for Jazz Fest, international crowd of people, and I always love the response I get from that crowd, because they're, they're from all over the world, and it's just such a great. I feel like a great connection when I meet the people that come in from Jazz Fest. So yeah, I thought about that originally. We were going to do the fort, in our gallery there, the whole thing. So yeah, but it worked out. It's interesting how it works out. You just have to sometimes you just have to persevere, even if it feels like it's not the right thing to do. You just have to keep going and then it always does work out. Yeah, one of the pieces in this show, The Art of Play, is called Before We Were Taught, and it's about the innocence that we come into the world with, and that sense of spontaneity and imagination and wonder, and just that whole just the enthusiasm of being alive. And little by little, we're kind of taught these fear-based things, which probably keep us alive to a certain degree. But a lot of them are just silly, and we become self-conscious. We become, I'm losing it. We become self-conscious. We lose the essence of who we are because of what we're told from the outside world. And I think that's happening more and more. We're getting way too externally motivated and losing our sense of internal motivation, which is where the truth really is. So we have to be really aware of that. And that piece in particular is about, kind of the innocence of childhood. It has kind of an ominous doorway on the side that in my mind kind of leads into adulthood and the fear-based stuff. So I just think it's important to to remember what the truth of being a human being really is. Well, I wanted to do something playful, and I really never know where my ideas come from. I'm just open, and so I let them happen. So I just thought, art of play. I'm doing these childlike things. Let's build a fort that adults can go into and have interaction with and just play a little bit. So I just thought it was a fun thing to do, and it's turning out great. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I'll tell you a couple things, not too many things, but we have a telephone that you pick up off the wall, and it tells you your fortune. You have to put 10 cents in it. We have an owl that will be, I'm not sure yet because we're still working on it, but I think he's going to hurl insults at people. Not horrible ones, but kind of funny ones. He's actually a taxidermy owl, so we'll have him. There's just a lot of visual stuff going on. What's our other ones? I can't remember.
Ant farm.
Oh yeah, I made an ant farm, so that's part of it. I have kind of a creepy little puppet show that's going on. So you'll see when we do it on the internet and in live person. Yeah. You have to unlearn a lot of stuff. You have to start recognizing the lies that you've been told, because I hate to say it, with the best of intentions, you've been lied to a lot. And so you have to start recognizing what the truth is and what isn't the truth. And I just feel like anytime it's fear-based, it's not true. It's not why we're here. It's not who we are. We're not supposed to be afraid. We're supposed to be living our lives to the highest possible potential in every aspect of who we are. So it's a matter of going inside yourself and really listening to your thoughts and starting to edit those thoughts, and edit your whole life, really. Don't let stuff come into your life that shouldn't be coming in. And you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, some of you might be familiar. We did a book about 10 years ago called So Far, and that was my work up until that point in time. And since then, the work has really changed a lot. If you've seen what I've been doing recently with all of the thread painting, the pieces are bigger and much more involved and hopefully much more ethereal and thoughtful. So we thought it was time to do a new book, and we're working with our great designers, Design Ranch in Kansas City, and they're putting together this beautiful new book that will be available really soon. So we'll let you know, online as soon as we're ready to put that onto the public. I think we'll be able to do some pre-ordering on it, but we'll let you know as soon as that's available. Yeah, for this show, I started drawing the drawings for the show here in Santa Fe about 5 months ago, I guess, when I first got here. And we ended up finishing 5 big new pieces and the fort. So we did a lot in the middle of all the shutdown and everything. So I'm kind of, pleased with how it all turned out. It's kind of a miracle that we got it all done, but we did. And so I start doing drawings, and then I'll prop my drawing up in front of me and just start cutting. And, the pieces usually transformed from the drawings quite a bit. Not quite a bit, but a lot. What's the difference between that? I don't know. But but they end up different than the drawing. But I do use the drawing as kind of a guide, blueprint kind of thing, and then I kind of just let it emerge and evolve and all that stuff. So yeah, so that's what we have. Yeah, just technically, I was playing around with my faces. I'm always trying to explore faces with these pieces and trying to capture, because it's always the first thing that you look at when you look at the piece. And I decided I would try to paint the faces first and then do thread painting over a print of the painting. So I did these gouache paintings of their faces, and then we printed them, and we were able to stitch over the top. So the faces are all stitched now, and I think I really like how they turned out. So that was one kind of cool push forward with these for sure. Thanks again for checking us out, and we hope you'll take a look at the new work. I hope you enjoy it. I really loved making it, and I hope you get a chance to come to Santa Fe and actually see it in person. We'll also have it in New Orleans this coming fall, late in the fall, so stay tuned for that, so you can see it at either place. So thanks so much. I really appreciate it.